Okay. Hi, this is Marcellus Lindsay here, the i2i coach, the i2i consultant. And I'm here with Warren Cass, is it managing director or chief executive?
Let's settle for founder.
Founder, okay. Founder of Business Scene here in the UK. And we were just talking about the importance and impact of the pitch. When people have that opportunity, typically in a lot of the networking meetings, people have to introduce themselves 40 seconds, 60 seconds, 10 seconds. But a lot of people feel a lot of the pressure, feeling like they have to sell during that time. And just wanted you to share your thoughts on what you know as being the founder of a community that is nationwide, on how the pitch works as far as building relationships.
Well, first and foremost, actually, just coming in on job titles. Yeah. Actually, maybe I should call myself Supreme Commander or something. I think it's your company. You call yourself what you like, really, but it's about being disruptive and getting attention half the time. And when it comes to pitches, there's a lot of thinking. You see a lot of people who talk about getting their elevator pitches right and talking for 60 seconds and you know, having it nailed down, etc. I think some people overthink things. I think first and foremost we buy people, and it will always be relationship first as opposed to second. So actually the most important thing is to bond with somebody.
Yeah.
And if they want to understand what you do, I've seen people really try and dress up and make what they do fancy when actually they're an accountant.
Yeah.
You know, and actually if I just want to understand your profession and ask you what do you do, I don't need a 60-second pitch on why you do things differently or how you do things differently, which half the time still leaves me confused as to actually what you do.
Yeah.
I just need clarity over what you do, and then we need to focus on the relationship. I do think people get that wrong all the time.
Yeah, and I think that is one of those things that everybody's out there they're learning all these different structures, and they're coming across with memorized pitches, and I think people really detect when it's inauthentic, you know, because they're trying to build on something that they don't believe in, or speak about themselves in a way that doesn't really resonate with their own values. So that's what I think, you know, when people are making a pitch, it's about really building, like you said, on building a relationship rather than just on a sell.
See, when something's recited, it's robotic.
Yeah.
And therefore there's no trace of passion, there's no trace of enthusiasm for what they do. And so actually when you're speaking about your business, you should be speaking from the heart, you should be speaking passionately. Authenticity will absolutely come through, and people buy into that. People follow when you're passionate about what you do.
Yeah. And just one last thing I really wanted to touch on was, as a founder of a community, because how many members are there in Business Scene now?
Oh, it's a big database. In terms of people who actively involved and subscribed to the site, it's over 200,000.
200,000. So community, how do you feel this really helps people who are solopreneurs and just a 0 to 5 kind of employee kind of companies?
Well, I think it's an interesting question. I think companies the way we do business has changed dramatically. I think companies are downsizing all the time. What you're starting to find is even the smaller companies are downsizing, whereas they would have maybe employed a member of staff to cover HR or bookkeeping, accounting, whatever. These are outsourced services, and of course the people running those services are in themselves small companies. So whereas people probably used to work for much, much larger companies and are now working for themselves, they've lost what we call water cooler moments.
Yeah.
So even if that's just a bit of idle gossip or some camaraderie or even just a distraction from the thing you just had your head in, or sanity checks on the things you're working on, we've lost the water cooler moments. And I think the reason why networking has become such a powerful thing worldwide is, first and foremost, it's totally aligned with 21st century selling, which is about relationships.
Yeah.
But actually I think small business owners also need the camaraderie and the people they can share maybe one or two of the issues they're facing, the challenges they're facing, and get critical feedback on that, which they can't do if they're just sat at home or sat in their office on their own. So I do think the role of a community, the role of a network, goes beyond potential to sell.
Yeah.
It's support. It's having people in your corner who know you well, who can refer you. It's a much bigger thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking this time out before you catch the train.
No problem.
And look forward to hearing more from you. And for those in the Business Wealth Club, this is another resource that is available for you to be able to build your community outside of just that small community that we have in the one club, even the wider community across the country, but to also go and be part of Business Scene to expand your network. No. Okay. No. That was a commission. All right. Anyway, see you later.
See you later.